Hi there, students, parents, and members of our learning community. The Walnut Creek School District is so excited to announce that we are going to begin contactless library book pickup starting in September. And we will be following the public library model, which has proven to be successful and safe. And of course, when we start anything new, there might be a snafu or two, so please be patient with us. I'm asking you to watch the entirety of this video as it lays out not only how to place the holds and access our catalog, but also rules, procedures, and safety measures. Please feel free to reach out to your librarian if you have any questions. Otherwise, thank you and happy reading. Bye. Before we get started, just a reminder to everyone that all of your library books from the spring must be returned prior to checking out new books. I will show you how to use the online system to figure out if you still have books out. If you do and you have found them, they can be dropped off to the Parkmead office between the hours of 7:45 in the morning and 3:30 in the afternoon. If you can't find them, you're having troubles, please email me and we can go from there. So our rules for how many books can be out per student is slightly different for distance learning. Our kindergarten through second graders may have up to 5 books checked out at a time, and our third through fifth graders can have 3 books checked out at a time. This is namely due to the size of the books the students usually read, our older students reading chapter books and our younger students reading more picture books. This next set of rules is familiar to students as it is the same during our regular school year, which is each student is permitted to have 1 graphic novel out at a time and 1 book from a series at a time. The reason we do that is just to spread out our resources so that we just don't have enough to make it so everyone could have 3 or more of those. As we start to have more dates, it's important, please, that you bring back the books you checked out at the previous curbside checkout to the next one so that you can get new books. Also, we're asking each student to make sure they use their own account, no borrowing on a friend's account or a sibling's, please. There will be 2 pickup days a month. They will be held on Wednesdays in the Magnolia drive-thru from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And the books will be placed in alphabetical groupings by a student's last name. Sometimes those pickups will be manned, and sometimes they will be unmanned. If it is unmanned, please just pull up. You'll get out, locate your books, and grab them and go. If it's manned, you can tell the person working or people working your student's name and they'll grab them for you. First date will be Wednesday, September 9th, and our second will be the 23rd. Future dates will be announced accordingly. So this part is really important, and I hope everyone understands that all holds must be placed by 3 p.m. on the Monday prior to the pickup day. So let's say you go and place a hold on Tuesday, September 8th, your hold will not be ready on that Wednesday, the 9th. Unfortunately, we need about 24 hours to pull all the books necessary. Also, holds are requests, they're not a guarantee. Sometimes the books will show that they're in, but there may be a problem that they've been misshelved or someone is simultaneously trying to check them out. And I will show you some of those problems when we get into the system. But again, holds are just a request. I cannot promise that they will come through every single time. Word about safety. All books are quarantined for 4 days before being eligible to be checked back out again. Our 2-week system allows for even more time than that. Also, this plan is in accordance with the recommendations and research by the CDC and the American Library Association. We're about ready to get started, and the first thing you'll need to do is locate the website for the library catalog, and I'm going to show you a couple of different ways to get there. So the easiest way to get to the catalog, I think, will be to look for the link, which is right here in the Wednesday specials links that they send out. And this will always be in the extensions. So you can click right here. Another option is to go to the Parkmead Library website. You can see the address up here. Yes, it's kind of a long one, but you can get there going this way by just clicking on this top banner right here that says Parkmead Catalog. Lastly, you can get there from the Parkmead Elementary School website. It is a little bit more convoluted though. You will go to the website and go up to programs and down to library. And when you click on libraries, it's actually going to take you to the entire district's library website. So you have to scroll down to the school site libraries, and there you'll find Parkmead's. If you click on that, again, it takes you to this page. If you think you're going to be doing quite a few holds, I would highly recommend maybe that you bookmark this page so that you can come back to it at a future time. And again, you'll just click here and it may give you a redirecting notice. But here we are at the library catalog, and any of those links should take you to here. Next thing you'll need to know is how to log on to the catalog, and all passwords and usernames have been set to be the same as your Google logon. And for students who use Seesaw or Google Classroom, it will be the same no matter what. So to log on, your username will be your first initial, your last initial, and your student ID. If your student ID number is only 5 digits long, you need to add a 0 to the beginning. So you should have 2 letters followed by 6 numbers. That's your username. Your password will be your birth date. Again, you need to have a total of 8 digits this time, but so add zeros to the month or day if you need to. 2 digits for the month, 2 for the day, and 4 for the year. If you aren't sure what your student ID number is, you can look that up in Aries. So here we are at the library's main catalog page, and next I want to teach you how to log in. You do not have to log in order to search the catalog. You can look at books and what is here, but you wouldn't be able to see your what you have checked out, and you won't be able to place holds unless you log in. So you'll click up here in this right-hand corner on log in, and it'll take you to this screen, and this is where you need to put in that username and password that we talked about previously. So I created a student whose name is Eager Reader. So I'm going to put in Eager Reader's username, which are his first and last initial, and then his student ID number, which is 6 digits. Notice I had to add that 0 in front of it because his ID was only 5, so it needs that 0. And then I am putting in his password and clicking submit. And now here I am back at the catalog, but this time I know I'm logged in because there's a little person icon up here. I can click it and see my name, that I'm a student, what school I go to, and that I'm part of the Walnut Creek School District, and that's all important. This is also where you log out when you're all done. So another thing I want to show you in this little section is how to check to see if you have books out. So up here in this left-hand corner, there are 3 lines. You want to click on that. Not all of these things are going to be options for you to click on and use, but some important ones are, and that includes checkout. So if you click here, it's going to show you what you already have out. Now, many of you will have nothing here when you first log in. This student has one thing. In order to make this demonstration, I had to make it so that the person had recently checked this out. But if you checked something out back in March or April, this date would be, or March, excuse me, this date will be very different. It will be in March or April because that's when the spring checkouts happen. So if you see something here with a due date that was way back in spring, you need to get those books back to us before you can check out and place holds on new ones, please. So now I'm going to go back to the catalog, and I can get there just simply by clicking the Destiny Discover. And here I am back and ready to search. So let's keep moving on. Now you are ready to search. It's very similar to Google, but there are a few things you need to be aware of. Your spelling has to be pretty close. It will give you some suggestions if you spell something a little off, but it will not be perfect and it won't be as intuitive as Google. Please use only phrases or single words. Titles are okay, but don't put questions like you might into Google. Last but not least, if you're searching for a particular type of genre like mystery or graphic novel, please use the genre buttons and I'll show you those. But you won't get the great search results you might if you type graphic novels into the box instead of using the genre buttons. So here we are ready to search, and I want to point out a couple of sections on this search page before we get started. You'll see at the top are recently added books. So these generally are new books, but not necessarily always. Maybe they're a replacement book or just something from that we realized we didn't have before. Here's popular titles, and right now you'll see that it says a bunch of chargers. That's from when we checked out all those iPad and Chromebook chargers, but this will change once we start checking out more books. And then down here are those topic or genre buttons I was talking about before. So if you're looking for a particular type of book, for example, those graphic novels or those mystery books or something about sports, this is a good place to come and search, and you just simply click on one of these. But I want to show you a more general search. So we'll come back up here to the top into the search bar, and let's say that my student, eager reader here, would like to read something about robots. So you do not have to type, and I know this from watching students in the library, you do not have to type robot books. It automatically knows that you're looking for books. So don't do the books. Just type in something that you're interested in, like robots. And now it's going to give us all the books that somehow relate to robots in this library. And over here, you'll see filters. I'm not going to discuss these today. That would take too long, but know that you could use them, but they're not always going to be extensive. For example, if you were to click on reading level, not every book in this library has its reading level included in the catalog, so it might not help you as much, but you can use these. So a couple things about the books. You'll notice each entry has an in if it's in, or it will be red and say out if it's checked out. There are some information just right up here in the front. For example, its location, its call number, its author, etc. So as you're scrolling, you can look for a little bit about what you're interested in, but also maybe what grade and reading level you might be. For example, if you see an E in front of it, those are generally books meant for our younger students, K through 2. And then if there's no E in front of it, it will be just a number. Those are the nonfiction books meant generally for older readers, but I don't limit students one way or the other. Whatever they feel like they want to check out, because perhaps they're reading with a grown-up or they're reading, just whatever they're interested in is what I want to support. In terms of fiction books, we have some fiction books on robots too. So I'm scrolling down and here's one. You'll see this is a fiction book. It starts with F in the call number. And it is located in graphic novels, and that's one way you can tell, oh, this book is a graphic novel, and therefore I can only check out or place one of those on hold. If we keep going, again, you'll see more Fs and fiction. Those F books are chapter books, and so might be best for some of our older readers. But there are, if we keep scrolling, some E books. E stands for everybody. That means that they're generally more picture books, but again, anybody can check these out. So let's say our eager reader sees, oh, The Wild Robot Escapes. That's the sequel to the Wild Robot book that I enjoyed so much. So I'm going to go ahead and I want to click on this, and maybe I want to learn a little bit more. And it will give you some more information in here if you want it. And you don't have to click on it because you can actually place the hold from anywhere. So you could place the hold here, or if you know that's the book you want, you can place it right from the search screen. So I'm going to go ahead and click hold here. And it's now telling me down in the little bottom here that it's available and I need to pick it up. So that's what we're going to go over next, which is kind of navigating those holds, because not everything is going to be available right away, even though it says in. And that's what I want to talk about, so there's no confusion. So there are a couple of things that might go wrong in this situation, and here is one we know of. It is possible that if multiple students are placing holds and looking at the same books at the same time, that the system can't quite keep up. And it may show books that are in that are not actually in because another student has already put a hold on them. So you need to kind of pay attention to some clues, which I'll show you in the next video portion. The second thing is to know that the dates in there might not necessarily be accurate, but going off of the words hold ready or hold pending are what you need to use to know if your book is going to be ready at the next pickup day or not. And again, I will show you that. Okay, so I want to just point out a few last things about your holds. Our friend Eager Reader put a hold on a Wild Robot book, and that student can go up here and see this alert and click on it, and then go down to holds, and it's going to tell the student, hey, your hold is ready. Now this date may change based on when you place that hold, but our pickup dates will never change. So if it tells you that the hold is ready, your hold will be ready for you and waiting at the next pickup day. If it doesn't, let me show you what it will look like. So let's go back here to Destiny Discover. And our friend Eager Reader is sorting through and goes, oh, I know Mrs. Westcoat over the summer read Don't Check Out This Book and loved it. I really want it. And it says it's in. So I'm going to click on it. Oh, but wait, this is one of those times where the system hasn't quite caught up yet. It actually tells me it's out. Now, that doesn't mean I can't place a hold. I still can. If I click hold, it's going to tell me that it's received my copy and that it's not ready yet. So I can go back over to my holds and I will see it there, but it's pending. That means it won't be ready for me at my next pickup day. I need to wait for that book to come in. So you can place a hold up to 5 books. But keep in mind that those 5 books are also going to include ones that may be checked out. So you really want to pick and choose, what do I want to have on hold and what do I want to wait on? But our older students, you can only have 3 out at a time. So if you place a hold for 5 books and you're only checking out 3, I'm going to go ahead and probably delete 2 of those. So just keep that in mind as you're going through, like what books are available right now and what do I want to place on hold for a later time. Last but not least, and thanks for hanging with us this whole time, please check with your parents before you place a hold. You need somebody to be available to pick them up on the time and dates available. And I don't want you to place holds that you can't pick up because that's not fair to other students. Thank you. I know this might not have been the most exciting thing you've ever watched, but thank you for spending the time to learn about our system and how you can get books. We're looking forward to checking them out to you. Happy reading!